A weak cold front had moved through early this morning, and steadily over the last several hours, the humidity has been dropping. It wasn't right behind the front that the dew points started to fall, but steadily through the afternoon and certainly through the evening and night, those dew points will continue to drop. So dew points right now 40s and even some 30s, whereas this morning we started out much higher. Temperatures, though, with plenty of sunshine, dry air can warm very efficiently. We did hit 81 degrees briefly at Kenner, and that has been sunny skies reinforced and mostly sunny skies right through the weekend. 81 our high today, average upper 70, so we're not too far off of that. And our morning low was actually a little bit milder this morning. We were in the 60s on both sides of the lake. We will be chillier overnight tonight because of that dry air that has moved in. Temperatures currently in the 70s and low 80s with dew points in the 30s and 40s. Very pleasant air has returned. And not that yesterday or even early this morning was humid by any means, maybe a little bit more so as dew points were more 50s and low 60s, but those values have been steadily dropping since before noon and will stay low right through most of the weekend. May see those dew points get back into the 50s by Sunday. Winds have been breezy as well behind our front. They will settle a bit more for the overnight, but if you're doing any boating, fishing, there is still a small craft advisory offshore, as well as exercising caution for small craft in the lakes. Sunny and dry this weekend. We will see a warmer start to next week, and really overall temperatures next week will be warmer. We'll have a weak front move through on Tuesday, helping to drop temperatures slightly by Wednesday, and then it does look like we're going to warm up before Easter weekend, then kind of a question mark as to whether or not a front moves through for or before Easter weekend. More on that in a moment. Here's the upper troughing that brought down the cold front. Obviously the core of the cold is staying to our north. Later in the season we get, the harder it is for the colder air to really make it very far south. It can happen just infrequently. Really more than anything what those fronts help to do this time of year is lower the humidity. I'll take temperatures in the 80s and low humid air any day of the week because we know what is on the horizon. Here's kind of that increase in humidity starting Sunday into early next week. Drop as we get into Thursday, Friday. Those dew points start increasing, and then kind of a question mark later in the week. Here's what's going on. We got this upper troughing, and this looks to be a pattern which continues through the next 7 to 10 days. But also at the time that the trough leaves us, we do see some building ridging. That tends to warm us up, as well as any kind of a southerly wind bringing back the humidity. We get another trough that brings in another front on Wednesday. Then the question goes into the end of next week toward Easter weekend. The Euro has a building upper ridge, which would warm us up, whereas the GFS has a trough deepening. So there is a question with kind of regards to our extended forecast beyond Friday and for Easter weekend. This is what the Euro is saying. We stay under a southeasterly or southerly flow Friday night, Saturday, and on into Easter Sunday. That would mean we stay warmer, we stay a little bit more humid, but notice we would stay dry. The GFS, on the other hand, Friday night, a front moves through. It's a little less humid, maybe a bit of a drop in our temperatures for Saturday, and then going toward Easter Sunday is when we start to see maybe a bit more of an onshore wind returning. So the Euro would have us kind of staying warm and humid for Easter weekend. The GFS has at least Saturday a little less humid, and then the muggy starting to come back by Sunday. Just trying to get a better idea of Easter weekend. Still too much uncertainty right now. What we do know is beautiful weather continues through this weekend. A little warmer, but still very pleasant most of next week.